Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today, let us talk about our guy who has learned and upskilled himself by learning Tableau, like many of us are planning to do, or maybe they are already doing that. Okay, so there are two professionals here. One guy who is from an IT background and who is upskilling, like everyone wants to learn something new every day. So today I might be into ETL, but tomorrow I might want to move into BI. So I might learn Tableau, I might learn Power BI, or again I might be interested in learning some scripting language like Python, anything. So lucky are those who are getting an opportunity in their current organization after upskilling themselves. Most easiest thing to happen to anyone. So because you have support from your managers. But what about those who are planning to switch or who are from non-IT background? So they take a lot of risk and they are risking. Definitely, we should. Okay, because we are when we are not happy in our current job, we have to take risk before it goes over the head. Okay, so this guy has risked his life or his job to upskill, and he has learned Tableau. And luckily, everything went well. He got job. Fine, he accepted it. Now he was worried, like what will happen. Now he used to be in touch with me regularly, what will happen next, what will happen, what they will do or how they will assign. So let us understand the problems that he has faced. On day one, he joined the organization, so he was very new here. Okay, so the first problem he faced was terminology and communication. Two problems. Terminology, because he was not aware what is Scrum, what is Jira and all. He was like everything was going bounce. So I explained him, boss, don't worry. So this is what will happen. So as soon as he joined, there was a client meeting, like an introduction call. So again, he was not aware of this. So he said, Anna, there is client meeting now. Client will client ask me any technical questions? No, wait. It is just an introduction call. So you'll first you have to access your Outlook or email box, and in that you will get so many emails. You have to read them, understand if there are any tasks or any assigned activities that is to you, and based on that you should take. So this is the first job of you as soon as you log in. So on day one, I think there was few calls that he has. One was with his lead, and second one was with his uh, what they call client. So client with like a regular introduction call. So they explained what is the project about, what they are expecting from this guy. Okay, and again there was again another meeting where the lead introduced himself, and to the team. And so the second call was a little lighter because it's at the with the lead, so you can be little comfortable. But with client, you have to again be very vigilant because we don't know what they will ask. So this guy was a little nervous, and I'm really worried. And all. So I said, don't worry. If they ask you anything technical, if you know, you tell me. Otherwise, just look and tell. So you need not worry. If they are asking any suggestions, take time. You can tell them that, okay, let me look into the existing reports. Let me understand the data. I'll come back to you. Maybe you can, instead of directly exposing yourself on day one itself, you can take some time and go through whatever you have, and then maybe slowly you can start recommending. Because as soon as you start recommending, they'll start judging you. Okay, so buy some time, and take some time and then slowly start answering. So that way you are building yourself. So first 1 2 months are very important for any professional who is switching here. Why? Because we are learning so many things on a day-to-day life. Okay, so learning skill is one important thing. Maybe we might learn from many places. YouTube, there are so many materials. Some might tell you, few things and not all. But as you join the company, there are many different things that you also need to learn apart from tool. So some might not be knowing functional knowledge, or they might not know what is functional training. So functional training means lighting logics and in terms of Tableau, if I talk. Okay, so they are not aware of how to write logic. Anna, my trainer didn't taught me how to write logics. I only know what is Tableau. I can create charts, this. You have to do, you have to learn. So that is where Google will help come into picture, or YouTube will come into picture, or online help dot Tableau will come into picture. That's why most a trusted site of any any tool you take, go to their authentic site and see what is the material they have, and then you can start referring and start lodging. So whoever are from non-IT and they are planning to switch into IT, first step I recommend is practice a lot on writing logics. That is where many of us fail, because there are two important things for any prof- uh, uh, skilled professionals who are trying to upskill. One, getting a job is one important task that many of us will do. Second is surviving in that skill that we have learned. So for this it will take a lot of time, efforts and patience. You have to have all of that because you need to continuously learn. So you'll take around 1 week of time to settle yourself in your new role. So in this 1 week you will understand how is your environment, how toxic are people, okay, uh, to whom you can reach out if you have any problem, to whom you should not reach out when you have problem, how to answer to messages received in a communication tool. So there will be different communication tools that we use in real time. So some might use Cisco Webex, some might use Teams. So most of them these days are using Microsoft Teams. So you might get different pings from different users. It can be lead, it can be your client, it can be anything. So sometimes they might ask you informal information over chat, how you need to answer. Or sometimes you might get emails from client asking information on particular dashboard, like what is the link of this dashboard, or can you do a validation on the dashboard. So this guy was not aware of all of this. And now what is validation, and how should I do validation? Validation is something that you are testing your report. So you have to test it against the database that you have built, and make sure whatever the values that are coming in that database are matching with the report. That is the validation. Okay, so sometimes you might get tasks like this, or they might ask you to create test case document. So test case document, like again, we are unaware, Anna, they are asking me to prepare test case document. Need not worry. Okay, so again you can ask. So every organization has their own standards of creating test case document. You can definitely reach out to your colleague to see if he has any reference test case document. For most easiest thing to do. Okay, so he said, no, I do not have anything. You prepare yourself. Maybe you can look into Google to find out the sample, or if not, you can look into one of my video where I have posted how to create a test case document. Because this guy didn't know how to do validation. He was facing a lot of issues. Second, meetings happen. So when meetings happen, you have to be very sure what you have done in your project, or how you have developed your project, because it will be developers, or like BI developers versus the database team, your client and your lead, all will be together. Okay, and they discuss. So like suppose client asks you to validate the report. Assume one problem I'm discussing here that this guy has faced. So now client said that these values on the dashboards are not matching. So this guy went blank, because this guy hasn't done validation, nor did he know that he has to validate. So he was totally unaware. So what he learned from the training, based on that he created so and so dashboards, and he kept on the dashboard and published. Now client verified that, and found that there is issue. Now the DBA team tells that, this is our issue of uh, Tableau team. They have done something wrong in the dashboard. Now this guy doesn't know. He accepted the fact, or he accepted it, not the fact. But now he came back, and this DBA team is telling that we have done mistake in Tableau. What to do? I said, check the values that it is showing in the database. And how to check? First question, and how to check? Then I asked him to take the query that you are using in your Oracle database, see what is the values it is fetching, and then compare it with against your values that you are showing in the report. If everything is matching, then you are right from your end. There is something missing in the database itself. If suppose if the south region has 100 rupees or 100 customers, the same 100 should show in the report. Okay, if you are showing 100 instead of 100, you are showing 200, then something is wrong. Or if you are showing 80, something is wrong, check if you have any filters and all. So all that you need to validate before you do. So this is validation. So this guy has spent a lot of efforts in how to do validation, or in convincing the client, or in convincing the customer that okay, no, my report is correct, I have done whatever, whatever I have done is correct. So to verify that, he has to show this document. You see, this is what I have done, this is how I have validated, and my numbers are matching. So that is when the DB team has kept their mouth shut and tell, "Arey, this guy knows I cannot, suppress this guy." So be vigilant. This kind of situations you might also face. So make sure your calculations are correct. No, you are validating it against the database. You are using right calculated fields. You are using right fields to derive the values. Okay, one problem, like, so what are the problems that we discussed so far? Terminology, how will be my activities, two problems, and testing or documentation, say three things that we have to do. So and fourth, your first 2 months of job are very critical. Okay, just because you got a job, don't sit and relax. Take as much as help from, as much as help as possible. It can be your friends, it can be your colleagues, whoever, but see to it that it is not, things are not getting escalated. No one should know, or it is like the best kept secret. No one should understand that, you are from a non-IT background. Okay, assume they are understanding that, you are from a non-IT background, but at least in that kind of situation they should know that okay, this guy is capable of doing things, he can complete the assigned task. At least you should get that impression before the worst thing happen. Okay, and next is email communication. Communications are very important role. Many of us fail in this. They are unable to explain what they have done, or they are unable to understand what client is telling. So there is a huge gap in the, expectations and the requirement. Gone case, no. First, communicate effectively. See what is the emails that you are getting. Understand the requirement. If you are not understanding the requirement, reach out to the client, talk to them. They are like friends. No one is like, aggressive enough to escalate on day one and tell that okay, Rahul is not understanding anything, relieve him from the project. No, they'll give you some time to settle down. In that settling time, you have to pick up the speed, increase. You have to go on the fourth gear, on the high speed, and then grasp as much as information as possible. Okay, so you can talk to them on informal basis. You need not, have, you can there, formally you can ping them over your communication tool and tell that okay, this is what I have understood from your email, is this what you want? She said okay, no Rahul, I was asking you to do this. Maybe you can try to, connect your understanding and their expectations. This way there is no chance of, erroring out whatever you are doing, or your efforts will be saved. So based on that, again you can develop the reports according to their requirements. Okay, so as soon as you get in, make sure or see what kind of environment you are in. Understand who your friends are. There will be no friends, there will be colleagues only. And see, understand who are non-toxic people or toxic people, stay away from them. Make sure you're doing your work on time. Okay, if you need any help in real time, you can definitely reach out to me. I'll try as much as possible. Okay, and then email communications, make sure you are communicating effectively. If you're not understanding, you can reach out to your client, or you can reach out to your lead, or you can reach out to your colleagues to make sure that your understanding is correct. Okay, and after that you can start building. Okay, make sure you can complete the tasks that are assigned to you in the time that is given to you. If not, you can always raise your hand and tell that boss, I will not be able to complete this work in this so and so time, I need some more time. Maybe you can give whatever the reason you want and buy some time, instead of trying to rush towards the things and fall down. Take time and try to complete it. And practice logics as much as you can. So that is what you will be doing most of the times. Charts, creating charts is 5 to 10 minutes of job, but writing logic will take hours of job. That is where you will spend most of the time, and this is the area where we least spend in. And I have observed this is the least area where trainers focused. They'll explain you about charts. They'll not tell you about the functions. What kind of different functions we have? How do we need to write? How do we need to validate the report? That also have, I have the video in our channel. You can watch out that video. This validation is also very important. Very, very important. Every now and then you will get a scenario. Every alternate day you will get one scenario where you have to validate your report. Now every day you cannot run here and there, and so that's why with just one and two you can see, like, make sure what is the query you are using. Make sure whatever the database values are there, 100 if that is there here, it should be 100 here. That's it. If it is 200 something error, you have to find out. So sometimes we can do mistakes, sometimes DB team can do mistake, it can be anything. Okay, whoever, but if you are doing a mistake you can correct it, but if it is not mistake, make sure no one is blaming you. Because in IT world it is always, developers versus testers. They'll try to push things towards us and we try to push towards them. It's a regular, what you call, the war room that we go on. But we try to, you know avoid as many errors as we can by doing, uh, or by preparing a test case document. Okay, so what is test case document again? So in test case document we validate each value or each field that we are displaying in the dashboard against the database, and that is how we confirm that whatever we are showing is correct. Okay, so do that validations always in day-to-day life also. Like, for 5 days report worked correctly, on the sixth day client is coming and telling Rahul, for some reason it is not showing correct value. Why? What changed? Then you have to check, did you change anything in the last 2 days? Were there any change requests that were happening, and all? Okay, so if not, if you have not done anything, then why the values were incorrect? Then you have to identify that root cause. Who did mistake? Whether it is your mistake, or it is from your database mistake, or it is something that you have to write an extra logic to get the correct values. So all this you have to do. So this is called as impact analysis, or it is called as analysis. So if anything is coming there, first we have to do an analysis on why it is wrong. Then you have to communicate ki boss, now this is what is happening in the database, because of which we are seeing discrepancy in the data. So if they find, okay, they tell us, okay, I understand, so maybe you can try to fix it. If it is database issue, if it is report issue, you can fix it by applying some logics, extra logics and all, and you can fix it. Okay, so again you might get question, Are Rahul, why didn't you do this in testing? What happened? There was no use case like that. Whatever, this is new use case. Then you can tell that, Arey boss, see, I have this test case document that I prepared that time, everything was matching. This time something changed, I don't know what changed at the back end, but because of that, errors throughout. Okay, so keep in mind all of this. So this is what will happen on a day-to-day basis for a developer. First, day one, you'll be having meeting with the client and with the lead, like it's an introduction and meeting where they will tell you what are the roles and responsibilities. So communication, important thing. Validation, important thing. Documentation, important thing. And connecting with your team, and your lead. Make sure you are having some kind of bond, so that you can understand, you can read the pulse what she is telling. So this jargon sometimes will not be able to understand, because Indian English is very easy to understand. Okay, and but this client's English is always very tough, because they speak, they talk something like this. So we have to keep our ears open to understand what they are telling. Then only we will understand. That's why always rephrase what they have done. So generally I follow this method. Whenever I am not understanding, at the end of the discussion I tell that, ki boss, this is what you are expecting, am I right? So if you tell, okay Rahul, yes you are right, then I'll continue. If not, then again second time she will repeat, okay, no, this is what I am expecting. Then that time you can again clearly listen and then correct, and then you can start doing. Okay, so this guy took 2 months of time to settle himself in the project. So this guy's worst thing was, was very toxic environment. I pray to God no one should get that kind of toxic environment, but this guy's environment was very toxic, pressing environment. So his lead was always on back of him. Hey, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. How much time? It will take only 2 minutes, 1 minute. Like she asked him to share the screen and do it right away. That kind of situation it was very tough. I mean, very rare things to happen, but there are very cranky people around us, and there are some good people around us who give us time to learn. But some people like this, some managers like this, create stressful environment. But this guy sticked, or he holded his horses. He spent sleepless nights. He was awake like 3 till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock every day, just trying to do basic stuff, because this guy was very new. But he completed all of those tasks, by struggling, by learning from IT, by connecting with me. He completed all the tasks. So earlier he used to take so many hours, but now he is able to complete all of those tasks in his stipulated time. Now he's not stressing, not stretching. But initially, like 2 to 3 months, he stretched a lot to understand. His client was like that. So what will you do, if someone asks you to share the screen and do it now on the screen? So isn't it pressing, or isn't it like a very panic kind of thing? So comment what will you do in that kind of situation. Okay. So but this guy was some, because he knows Tableau, he was able to manage that situation. So even now he will get that kind of request, but he is like confidently able to tell that, oh no, let me, but confidently he's trying to avoid that kind of situations where he is able to do things on his own, and he's not letting that thing happen. So that's why it is important for you also. So if I pray that you don't get toxic environments, you get a learning environments where managers encourage you to learn, explore, and do things. Okay, very important for everyone. Okay, we want to do something, we want to learn, and we want to upskill. So managers should be open minded. Okay, no, Rahul, take your time, and you tell me what is the problem, where is the bottleneck that you are facing. So he should come into picture and help. But very few are like that. Okay, right. I definitely give chance to my teammates whenever they are facing any problem. I tell them, first you do research. For this guy also I used to tell. So initially what he used to do, as soon as he gets any ping from the client or any message from me, Anna, he used to call me. This guy told me, this girl told me like this. I said, no. Anna, I got this problem. No. First tell me what is the research that you have done. Day one, first thing. So earlier he used to come with a blank mind without doing any testing. Now he's doing all the research. He's trying to find out where the problem is, and then he's coming to me and telling, Anna, so this is what we have done, and this is what in the logic, that is why I'm getting this. Can you tell me how to do? Now this saves time of everyone. So that is why whenever you are getting a problem, first you try to understand why that problem is. This why will only help you grow up the ladder to the top. Don't give up. Okay. So as soon as you get a problem, don't panic, see why that is happening. Use the skills that you have learned. You have spent some 15,000, 20,000 to learn that skill. So remember that skill and use why that is throwing out error. And once you find out, telling answer or finding answer will be very easy for everyone. Okay. So this is the GAN for today. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. That's it from my side. Have a good day. Bye bye.